So today, Cooley and I want to show you how you can work with some ground poles spaced out in the arena to help break up the regular exercise and work program that you may have with your horses, and also to increase, the pushing power, the impulsion, the lifting power of the back. Horses have to raise their legs a little higher, step a little bit more underneath their center of gravity when they manage these poles. And I've set up 2 sets of 3 ground poles on the opposite 20-meter circles in the arena here. And the first set you can see right now that I'm riding around, they're just on the ground and they're spaced out like a fan, so that the horses can step over them a little bit easier in the walk when you get closer to the center, and then make the space a little wider towards the ends of the poles so that you can easily trot over them. And as you can see on this side, on this circle here, I've spaced out these fan-shaped little configurations the same way, except that I have raised each bar, and that helps the horse to, of course, lift their legs a little bit higher and break it up so that they don't just kind of get used to the evenly spaced ground poles, and pay attention and have a little bit more fun with some different elements here in the arena. So before we get started with the trot work over these, I just want to show you how you could just easily, take your horse on almost like a little bit of a walk across these poles. And long rein in the beginning is really important, that you let them stretch down and look and see where they're going, so that they get sort of familiarized with where the poles are and how high they have to lift their feet, and that there's actually enough space for one step at a time in the walk for them to comfortably come across these poles. And that's always really important, that you take the time in the beginning to let the horses familiarize themselves with the setup. And so I'm going to take him over here one more time, and then we're going to go in a little bit, we're going to go to the other poles so that he can see and feel the same, with a little bit of a raised on the outside bar. So 1, 2, 3, very good, no big deal. Really important that the walk work always, precedes the trot. It also, not just for mental habituation, but also for the physical warm-up. It's always really such a great thing. On a certain day, you might just do walk work over poles, There you go. These are a little bit higher. Yep. And you could tell that, he's looking and figuring out the timing and the spacing. And there's a lot going on so that the horse can comfortably manage these. And if they're, touching the poles a little bit, that's no big deal. It just helps them to know where to put their feet next time, a little bit higher. Yeah. So you can see. You hear that? I don't know if you can, but this time he didn't touch. And so I'm happy with that. I'm just letting him figure out, here is where I need to put my feet. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, super nice. Once you and your horse have warmed up in the posting trot without the poles, then you go and take him onto the first circle here, where the ground poles are just straight, flat on the ground. And just let them go gently, softly, and slowly over the center of these spaced out poles. And just think long and low with a little bit of contact. Inside leg supports a little bit more. The inside hind leg that needs to step up a little bit with a little bit more strength and a little bit more oomph, so to speak. And then you can, go back and forth a little bit to the larger spaces on the outside of each of these sets of 3s to make your horse take a little bit larger steps. Or you can also, collect a little bit, use a little bit of your seat to take them a little bit slower and perhaps a little bit closer to the inside of the fan shape of these poles. You can vary and play with these elements as much or as little as you like. I'm going to change directions here. And as you can see, I have a very long, comfortable working frame with Cooley. It has nothing to do with, putting the horse together and having them anywhere in too upright neck position, because then they can't see where they're going. And this is all really just an extended warm-up, really, when you think about it. And you can see he's speeding up a little bit when we're going over the poles. That also has to do with his background as a 3-day eventing horse. He's, of course, thinking jumping when he sees poles. But we're just going to take it as easy as possible, over and over, a couple more times. And then we're going to switch and go to the other circle on the other end of the arena, where the poles are raised a little bit. Give him something else to think about. So, good boy. So, it's fine. Come. So, always confirm a little bit with your knee pressure and your seat that you are in control of the rhythm and the speed that your horse is traveling at. They sometimes have a tendency to want to speed up a little bit. You just say, no, take it easy. Little bit slow is good. Easy does it. And then you can play also with, with the size of the strides. The farther outward on those fan shapes you go, the bigger the stride has to be, the more in control the horse has to be. But I, for now, just prefer to stay pretty much in the center here. And that way, I have the spacing mapped out on my graphics that you can find at the end of the video. You can adjust them so that they're comfortable for your horse. So sometimes it might take a little bit of trying, going back and forth a little bit. But this is actually, look at that. Even if they're not perfect, you will find that your horse will tell you what he or she needs. And then you can either say, okay, so I need to adjust my riding order, or I need to adjust the poles, Just in the beginning, just have these things be light and easy for your horse. And I'm going to say thank you. That was good enough for right now, for this segment. Give them a little bit of a break. Always think nothing, even if it's so much fun, nothing needs to be done for very long time periods. And especially when your horse does everything that you like him or her to do so nicely. So that's it for this segment. Enjoy it, have fun, and happy riding. Thanks for watching. And good boy, my chat. So.